Good morning, Cougars. I'm Nathan Radcliffe.
And I'm Takaya Glasper. Today is Wednesday, January 11th, 2023. For lunch today, we will have a choice of baked chicken with roll or cheese quesadilla, broccoli, mashed potatoes with gravy, and assorted fruits.
Remember that the end of the grading period is near. Students should be checking in now to ensure all their assignments are completed and turned in. Check your Power School for missing assignments and ask your teachers if you have any questions about your grades. Our inspirational quote this morning comes from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. This is a rather bold quote reminding us that we are all interconnected and need to support one another through thick and thin. In the end, we will remember not of the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends.
As we continue to prepare to celebrate the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. on Monday, January 16th, it's important to examine the ways in which he influenced life in the United States, both and then now. Leslie Hinton in Texas A&M University Division of Marketing and Communications wrote an article which was printed on January 15, 2020 about the impacts Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech in Washington, D.C. This is a little of what she wrote in the article.
King delivered this famous speech as he stood before a crowd of 250,000 people in front of the Lincoln Memorial on August 28, 1963. During the March on Washington, the speech was televised live to an audience of millions. The March on Washington and King's speech are widely considered turning points in the civil rights movement, shifting the demand and demonstrations for racial equality that have mostly occurred in the South to a national stage.
Leroy Dorsey, Associate Dean, said the speech advanced and solidified the movement because it became the perfect response to a turbulent moment as it tried to address past hurts, current indifference, and political violence, acting as a pivot point between the Kennedy administration's slow response and the urgent response of the marvelous new militancy, those fighting against racism.
He was not just speaking to African Americans in that speech, but to all Americans. He understood that the country would more easily rise together when it worked together, he said.
I Have a Dream remains relevant because for as many strides that have been made, we're still dealing with the elements of bad check, voter suppression, instances and violence against people of color with real redress. Dorsey said, remembering that King was trying to do then can provide insight to what we need to consider now. There is a home basketball game today against St. Peter's. The girls' game begins at 4, followed by the boys' game at 5. Admission is $5. Come out and support our players. We hope to see a great crowd in the stands to cheer for our Cougars on to victory.
If you're interested in playing a rec baseball or softball for the town of Belhaven, there are sign-up sheets at the front office for you to take home. Stop in and pick one up. Students in grades 6 through 8 are reminded about the winter dance on Friday night, January 13th from 6 to 9. Dress will be casual and music will be loud. 6th through 8th grade students are invited, assuming their recent write-ups. Admission is $5.
We now have a special word from our principal, Ms. Sherman. Please give her your undivided attention.
Good morning, Northeast Cougars. I'm going to take a few minutes to talk to you about our moment of silence that we do every day. And we're going to just look at why do we do it, and maybe what are you supposed to do while we have our moment of silence. So listen, I got some good information to share with you. So historically, the moment of silence goes back to World War I, when a 2-minute time of silence was observed for those who had passed away during the war. The time of silence has certainly changed over the past 100 years and is now a time for more than this. In schools, we hold a moment of silence to encourage you to reflect, possibly pray, or meditate before beginning your main studies for the day. Some students and teachers see this time as a way to ground themselves for the day, set their minds right, and get prepared for all that might come their way. During the moment of silence, it is expected that all will be respectful of those around them and remain silent until the time for the Pledge of Allegiance. Whether you choose to pray, meditate, or simply stand silently is up to you. However, it is important that you stand and you are respectful, and that this is an important way that we start our day at Northeast. We follow the moment of silence every day with the Pledge of Allegiance, and we encourage everyone to join in as it is led for you on the announcements. Have a great day.
Now please stand for a moment of silence. Remain standing as we are led in the reciting of the Pledge of Allegiance by the 3rd Blue class, Miss Callie Daheny.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Cougars. Make today a great day, and don't forget to roar.
Roar!